darkness. Two words can be heard in the echoing black. Words thought to have faded into obscurity. Suddenly, a glimmer of light appears like brightness at the end of the tunnel. One channel stands alone. Long since dead. 2 months since its last upload. But it has returned now. Resurrected. Renewed. Revitalized. It has a name. Sup Swaggets? So, after a long time of being dead online, I've finally returned, to the excitement of pretty much no one. I've essentially paid no attention to this channel at all, so the content here will be mostly the same unless I get suggestions otherwise. Over the next few weeks I plan to release a ton of videos, most likely on stuff people have already talked about, so maybe a little bit of Stranger Things, maybe even a touch of Boba Fett, what it should be. I was even thinking of maybe making some short films, but that would be a huge undertaking, so I don't know about that. So, what are we talking about today, Sup Swagget? I hear you wonder. Well, you're obviously blind, or you're just too excited to watch the video to read the title, but today we're talking about suicide. I know I'm super behind on this, but the videos that I make over the next couple of weeks will most likely be cash-up videos anyway, so I might as well start somewhere. And where else but Suicide Squad? The movie's recently passed 700 million at the international box office, which means relatively nothing, yet it hasn't stopped news sites from reporting on it like it's some big life-changing event. Just look up Suicide Squad and there's bound to be some pretentious articles saying some shit like Suicide Squad kills Captain America and Winter Soldier at the box office. Marvel fans, say your prayers. Being a Marvel fan myself, I'm obviously deeply triggered. But all jokes aside, this reaction to Suicide Squad and the whole DC vs Marvel shenanigans is bullshit and is turning the whole fanbase into toxin. As a fan of a great many things, I of course find it very irritating when people criticize what I love. I don't think that many people realize that even though, as businesses, Marvel and DC have a creative rivalry, the Marvel vs DC issue isn't a big concern to these studios. Studios that you'd think would have no contact or would be bitter rivals talk and discuss things all the time. Do you really think it's a coincidence that 20th Century Fox made a movie with Quicksilver but without a Scarlet Witch, and then in the next Marvel movie, Quicksilver is introduced then promptly dies? This wasn't just a knee-jerk reaction on Marvel's part to the sudden Quicksilver appearance in X-Men Days of Future Past. This was most likely an extensively planned and talked about compromise made by both Marvel and Fox. This is the same with Marvel and DC. Both Warner Brothers and Disney are massive companies that understand that big blockbuster movies that directly compete with one another can only end badly financially for both businesses. This is why Batman v Superman was moved to an earlier date as to not compete with Captain America Civil War. This is something that many fans fail to understand, creating an us versus them mentality within the fanbase. This is prompted by clickbait such as Marvel fans say your prayers, which creates arguments that only benefit the site. As for shit-stirring by director of Suicide Squad David Ayer, this could be seen as a marketing gimmick or friendly banter, but I'm putting my money on the former. If I had any money. In short, this rivalry is toxic in the fanbase. It doesn't affect the companies making the movies in any way, and actually hurts the enjoyment and critical analysis of the film, as those who are predisposed to whatever Marvel does is good and whatever DC does is bad, or vice versa, are obviously going to see that film in only that way. Shit. I'm already halfway through the video and I haven't even talked about the movie yet. Well, I enjoyed it. It had gaping plot holes though. Put short, it was alright. Everything was kind of meh. I enjoyed the action and some of the characters, but there is no argument that the movie not only underutilized some characters, but also suffered from a horrible plot. I believe this stems from the complication of the movie, as in the threat the Suicide Squad faces. The issues most people have with the movie is the impracticality of Amanda Waller's plan to use the Suicide Squad in a situation so unacute to their abilities, Enchantress as a villain, and the lack of the Joker. I think all three of these issues could have been solved simply, so let me run down what this movie should have been. Okay, two big changes up front. The Suicide Squad members are being held in Arkham Asylum, and Amanda Waller is the Gotham Police Commissioner. What? Just let it play out and it will all make sense by the end. In my version, Commissioner Waller gets the Suicide Squad together in order to take down the Joker. This immediately sorts out almost all of the problems in the movie, as all the characters from Harley Quinn to Killer Croc can play some role in taking down a crime boss rather than a goddess. In this version, Waller wouldn't make the Suicide Squad's head explode if they're trying to escape. Rather, the devices implanted inside them would cause them to have a heart attack. This could be displayed if Slipknot or some of the other characters decide to change allegiances but choke before they can tell the Joker about the Squad's plans to kill him. This would also allow Harley Quinn to have far more character past the jokey weird girl we got in the original movie, as she has to decide between the Joker and the Squad. I also think the Joker too could be changed. Over the past few incarnations as a Joker, we've seen his insane side. But if the Joker is going to be a crime boss, he must have some reasonableness to him. My version of the Joker would be quite like Jake Gyllenhaal's character Lou in Nightcrawler. That is a sociopath who seems polite and possibly friendly in a weird way, but is in fact driven by ambition and disregards human relationships. This would allow a truly threatening villain that the Squad may initially underestimate. In my envisioning, the movie would climax with the Suicide Squad being revealed and trapped in an apartment complex by the Joker, which would spark a raid-style fight scene as the characters battle their way through the building. As my version, most of the Squad would be dead by the end of the movie, only leaving Deadshot, Harley, and possibly Boomerang or El Diablo, take your pick. In the end, the Joker would be killed, and the remaining Suicide Squad would get their wishes, similar to the movie we got. However, we'd see that the survivors are forever scarred by their mission to kill the Clown Prince of Crime. In the final scene of the movie, Amanda Waller would be promoted for her success in the Suicide Squad initiative, and would be offered to bring it to the next level. The post-credit scene would show the Joker still alive as he busts Harley Quinn out of Arkham, like in the movie. So there you go. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how I would have done the movie. And as for my thoughts for the movie that we got, it was fun, but it didn't mean it was good. Overall, it was pretty meh. But I can use that word to sum up any question asked about the movie. What do you think of the characters? Oh, they were meh. What do you think of the action? Really good in some parts, but mostly meh. What do you think about the villain Enchantress? Meh. The Joker? Even more meh. The director David Ayer was going for a Guardians of the Galaxy style, which I can understand, but which doesn't really fit the rest of the universe. I would have preferred his great direction when it comes to action to be paired with a more intense plot like the one I suggested. I don't know, maybe my love for the raid has blindsided me. Comment below what you think. Just kidding. I know you won't. Good to be back. See ya, Swaggets.